It's funny because I've made a stack of like compilation of the trip videos about Madrid, about Ipswich, and even about the home game for the girls against Lyon, but I haven't made a video talking about even talking about the home game against Madrid, which I've got a video of Declan Rice's second free kick, which now has over 1 million views, insanely. It shows how much people are focused on that game. What a game. What a fortnight, I guess, of supporting Arsenal, as I have done for nearly 50 years. When people ask what's the best game you've ever been to, I mean, the very best games are the ones where you win trophies. But you eliminate those and just say as standalone games, the best ever. And it's crazy because I look at this season, a lot of this season has been sorely disappointing. We've but for both teams, you know, we could have won our first 7-8 games on the spin, in my opinion, and we were kiboshed by insane refereeing decisions. It's been gone over so many times, you know, the ridiculous second yellow for Deckers against Brighton, the ridiculous second yellow for Trossard at Man City, I think it was the record amount of ball in play time at Man City, and somehow in the second half they still score their equaliser in the 98th minute. The Liverpool game comes in that run at the beginning. I think, well, it's funny, Bournemouth, obviously Saliba is sent off in a very suspicious re-refereed Howard Webb in the stand way, which makes Saliba suspended for the Liverpool home game. They choose not to look at VAR for Kai Havertz getting absolutely lashed out at twice by big Virgil van Dijk. How much does that geezer get away with? I think it's a penalty on Martinelli where sort of Trent and Konate come together to take him out. And then the time the referee does choose to blow the whistle, Anthony Taylor does it just in time to stop Kai Havertz scoring a late winner. There's been so much of that this season, so many decisions against us, so many unlucky injuries at the worst time. But, you know, for the girls' team, eventually, Jonas, who looked possibly like he could be a great manager for us, managing to get himself binned off. Well, I think I better put the dog on the lead. Yeah, Jonas getting binned, yeah, another failure to stay in a proper league title challenge in the WSL. I suppose we could still have a miracle where Palace do us a favour, but it seems deeply unlikely. I think Chelsea have to lose 2 games, and the WSL doesn't look like doing that for us. But yeah, a season that has been so disappointing on so many levels has, in retrospect, provided some of the great moments I've had as an Arsenal fan. I mean, the obvious ones being Spurs home and away, but it's not even those I'm thinking about. It's more, I mean, obviously in the league, the humbling of Man City is one of the great games. One of the great games we've had here would be on a list of the greatest games we've had here, and it was instantly knocked off. I mean, European aways, PSV at the same time as the Carnival in Eindhoven, Sporting Lisbon in the beautiful sun, 2 brilliant performances. All 3 of those games have something in common, that the opposition goes for us rather than sitting, doing all they can to stop us playing. They back themselves to win. One of the reasons I think we've had such a great Champions League season, you face teams that try and beat you. They're, as I said, in retrospect, Lisbon, PSV, City here, these are some of the great games. And I feel we've been robbed of some great moments. That I still feel gutted about Martinelli's foot being offside away to Fulham. I mean, yeah, that's the correct decision. As VAR works now, I don't think it's what the offside rule was designed for, but nonetheless. But then, in these weeks, in this fortnight, what we've got to see. First, actually, the girls, after losing 2-0 on a shitty pitch in Madrid, coming back, our great Spanish signing and our English superstar getting sharing the goals, 2 for the English player and 1 for the Spaniard, was replicated by our men's team. But the game here, beating Real Madrid 3-0, is a night I think I will never ever forget. My son, my wife, my mum and dad with me, out that night with mates. Done a favour by one of them who wouldn't let me carry on. He's like, "You're next to your house." Go back into it. In the wee hours of the morning, they were still going, I think, when the sun came up. And then Madrid. I think it's bizarre being in Madrid. All the Spanish, all the Madridistas that we spoke to were massively confident they were going to turn us over, like remontada. And simultaneously, I think the Arsenal fans were pretty confident in our team. I think that we're off the ball as good as any team in Europe. I mean, possibly Inter Milan, an argument to be better. We went there and dominated them and still couldn't get a goal. But right up there with anyone. Maybe Atleti, although it's not quite as good as the Pete Simeone Atleti teams, I don't know. But I backed us. I think the game was set up for us. And we snuffed Madrid out. We snuffed a team full of, they had a tantrum. Vinicius didn't get the Ballon d'Or last season. And they went out and bought the best player in the world. They might have injuries, so did we. They might have a problem accommodating a different strike force. Well, we were playing a midfielder up front, so let's not have any pity for, the greatest sporting franchise, the best sports team in the world, Real Madrid. And we went there, and we dealt with them. It still feels something out of a dream. I'm very much looking forward to the semi-final. Was here in a box, my first ever experience in a box at the Grove for the girls' first leg of their WSL semi. I was really disappointed with that. Watching the Barcelona against Chelsea game put some perspective on it. We're still in the game, Chelsea or not. I made another video where I was talking about, no team has held simultaneously the men's and women's Champions League. Us and Barcelona are both on for that. Maybe even favourites for both. I mean, definitely the girls. The Barcelona women's team is the best women's team in the world, with the best players in the world. Patelas, Bonmati, probably the 2 best players in the world, but they've got so many others. But yeah, I'd put the 4 men's semi-finalists all on about a par. I think they are the 4 best teams in the world. I think that Liverpool fans can cry about that, but the amount of luck they've had in terms not just of injuries but also decisions, all those dodgy penalties they've got against Bournemouth where there isn't even a challenge made and they get a penalty, the shit they get away with against us. Anyway, forget Liverpool. The 4 best teams are, in my opinion, the Champions League semi-finalists. We faced a great Paris Saint-Germain team. First time I ever saw us play Paris Saint-Germain was another of the great European away days. Again, facing a team of absolute superstars. Ginola and Weah, Socrates' brother Rai, the forgotten but unbelievable in midfield, and Valdo probably was their best player in my opinion. Le Guen, Bernard Lama in goal. It was a team of superstars. Paris Saint-Germain teams of my age might think of it as one of their best ever teams, even though it didn't quite deliver at the very top. I remember that trip. I remember coming in on the Rue Périphérique on a coach, the Paris Saint-Germain fans on the overpasses above. I got woke up by paving slabs hitting the roof of our coach. I was a bit tasty that day in Paris. Early mid-90s, we were my mates all had on our baggy jeans, which wasn't great when the cops took all our belts off of us. Spent the whole game with your one hand holding your jeans up and the other hand trying to deflect the coins and lighters that came flying over the barriers. I imagine it's not going to be quite so tasty in Paris. It definitely won't be quite so tasty in Lyon. I say tasty, Lyon's famous for being tasty. We've got some good meals booked. It'll do well to compete with the meals we had in Madrid, but let's see. It's a massive, massive semi-final against Lyon for the girls and Paris for the boys. I think we need to, it'd be great to win both. Again, I make Barcelona massive favourites in the girls, amongst the girls semi-finalists, whereas, actually come on, let's do another lap peg. Whereas, I put the boys' games as far more equal. This Paris Saint-Germain team, I love their midfielders. I mean, they seem to have always had these tidy midfielders. I loved Verratti, but I think what's his name? He ran the left footer, was arguably Spain's best player in the Euros. Came from, I've forgotten his name, but obviously Neves, they bought him from Benfica. That little guy is absolutely brilliant, also super tidy on the ball. Look, they're a great team. Vitinha, who weirdly I didn't massively connect to as an amazing player at Wolves, but now looks like a worldie. They've got arguably the best fullback pairing in the world. I mean, we started this season, I would have said our first choice fullbacks were probably Ben White and new signing Calafiori, and now, look, neither of them are fully fit, but they'll struggle to shift Yuri and Timber and Miles Lewis-Skelly, our new first choice. I think Hakimi was a superstar for Morocco. Unbelievable pace, what an athlete, great footballer. I think there's some positional and defensive weaknesses in his game that we can maybe expose, but I make Nuno Mendes the best left back in the world. Been talking to friends about this. I mean, it's funny, people talk about players as teenagers. Forget the fact that Miles Lewis-Skelly's a teenager. Other than Nuno Mendes, is there a better left back in the world? You know, Robertson was on that list, but he seriously dropped off, lost his place to Simicas. You know, maybe he's not fully fit after injuries, I'm not sure. But I make Miles second, but I did make Nuno Mendes number one. Especially his ability to turn up, zone 14, break into the box, score goals, snuffed out Mo Salah, both legs. He looks to have it all. It's a massive game. The girls, look, they killed us in transitions. Those three forwards for the girls, Diani, Demorne, what's the name, Chawinga, and then to have Hegerberg to come as a sub is lethal. That's going to be a really tough ask. Looking forward to both trips, and looking forward to the home game here against Paris. I think we've got to put on a show like we did against Madrid. It's going to be interesting. I think that Ipswich played the first 20 minutes trying to high press, which I guess is an alright preparation for the Paris Saint-Germain game. We deliberately didn't play Thomas Partey for that reason. He's stupidly got himself suspended, and what that means is Trossard plays up front. Well, when we played here, we played that pseudo 4-4-2 with Kai Havertz is either left 8, is either false 9, Trossard wandering, and did very, very well. It was a different team. No Kvaratskhelia. Dembele had been dropped for bad behaviour, which seems to be a masterstroke from Luis Enrique because he's been on fire ever since. So what a game to look forward to. Every bit of it as exciting as 1994. I hope, that was the day that 1-0 to the Arsenal was born, the away leg. We scored first, and then at Highbury, I believe the second worst Gooner of all time, Osama bin Laden, was at the home leg when Kevin Campbell won it 1-0 for us. Yeah, mass murderer, but still not quite as bad as Piers Morgan. I would I would rather it's less tight. I would rather we try and get it done in the first leg. What we don't want is to be chasing the game in Paris. The pace they've got, that kid Doué looks something special. When we talked about Kvaratskhelia, Barcola is rapid beyond belief. It's a great squad of players they've got. Something to be excited about. I haven't even mentioned Crystal Palace, a game which is going to be, I think, could be the first game where I've been in England that I miss it for decades and decades and decades. I think possibly since the early 90s. A game where I am in the country. Oh no, I've been sick and missed one or two. But where I'm not sick, and I know in advance that I'm missing it, first game since the early 90s I'll be missing. My boys playing a concert that I promised to attend. So that's exciting for Wednesday. I'll try and get back for the second half. Maybe it's a chance for me to wind up the celebration, please, from my house. I don't know. Anyway, what a fortnight it's been to be an Arsenal fan. The home game might be the greatest game we've ever had here. Let's hope Paris Saint-Germain can trump it. And the away game might be the greatest away game I've ever been to. Let's hope Paris Saint-Germain can trump that. And here's hoping for the girls to get a surprise comeback in Lyon. Come on, the Arsenal.